application for companies that are in telecom or healthcare kind of industries, where one of the biggest problems is equipment management. A typical telecom company has its market spread across a country like India. There are 20 markets, and a single market will have around 100 or 200 base stations where they have their electronics. So when something fails, for the engineer to go all the way to the base station and repair, there will be several hours of commute time and repair time, which means several hours of loss of revenue. So the challenge is, can we actually predict a failure? And I will go through predicting a failure in a different case study. But what one can do is actually using analytics, predict that this component is likely to fail in 10 hours from now. There's a 90% certainty that it will fail. You can imagine the kind of business impact that it will have on the companies that are involved in managing very large scale infrastructure. And nowadays we very often hear about churn. Churn essentially is customer moves from your brand to some other brand. Knowing why a customer is likely to leave you, why is a very important thing, and how a customer is likely to leave you, when a customer is likely to leave you. If you can give that information with a good degree of accuracy to your marketing team, you can imagine the kind of business benefits that it can have. This is my favorite example. I was not particularly fully involved in this project, but it's such a great example of analytics that I wanted to cover it. There is this company that makes pacemakers, and the FDA allows around 1.5% error in pacemakers in a lot. Once this company sent out 7,000 pacemakers, they were operated into humans, and then they found that the error was around 3%. So 3% of the pacemakers were faulty. FDA asked them to call back the pacemakers, but the doctor said, to call back I have to cut open the patient and pull out the pacemaker. The risk is 10%. So for a 1.5% risk, they made a 3% faulty pacemakers. But if the operation and pulling out is a 10% risk affair, they cannot obviously follow that. So what they did was to look at the past data of these pacemakers and identified what the assumption they made is no tool fails abruptly. It leaves enough trails. So by looking at the trails, can I actually predict when the failure is likely to happen? If the temperature of the pacemaker goes beyond this, if the pulse rate goes below this, if the pressure goes above this, the pacemaker is failing in the next couple of hours or next 3 days, etc. So they found all those patterns. Then they deployed a 4-line assembly code in the hearts of the people and collected that information and predicted in advance, well in advance, the failure of each and every pacemaker. They saved each and every one of the lives. I believe that's a tremendous ROI. So analytics is not just about identifying who will buy and making a higher sale there or who will not default. Of course, they are phenomenally useful examples, but it is ever pervasive. So starting from pharma to manufacturing to retail to banking, you can think of tons of applications where forecasting, classification, and optimization lead to significant business impact. Now, let me move to one of the very important